Arrakis is this unrelenting anvil against which people are beaten, shaped and forged into something that's stronger.
So Dune 2 just launched. Incredible movie. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? In the wake of the hype, we had Dune Direct Episode 1 air on Monday, March 4th, where they had their chief creative officer, they as in Funcom Games, they had him shed some light on their up-and-coming game, Dune Awakening. I'll cover all the important things they went over, and then you can watch and react to the gameplay trailer at the end. Dune Awakening will be a survival game at its core, needing food, water, and shelter, and then eventually graduating, it seems like, into some political and social decision making, which you probably join a faction with other players and carry out missions with and against each other. As they talk about the survival aspect, they explain how water, heat, and sun are your immediate concerns amongst the worms and the sandstorms. They discuss 2 ways to acquire water, including through eating plants and then escalating it quickly to drinking blood of your enemies, maybe your ill-fated friends. The vast, brutal landscape is the vision for the map and is key to giving the game its life and identity.
We looked at references from some of the hottest deserts in the world. The visuals that we saw from those deserts weren't enough. We needed this world to be even harsher.
Funcom has the experience and really plans to deliver a survival MMO where fans can live out their fantasy. Emphasis on the sandworm as its most iconic creature. This will be interesting to see, especially the massive ones. They say they're, as you venture further on, they get bigger and bigger. Most important question of all, can we ride them? That's still up for debate. They kind of shrugged it off.
The most iconic creature in the Dune universe is the sandworm of Arrakis. And so we've tried to represent this in the game in multiple ways. So as a player, your first steps on the open sand, you hear the hiss of the sand in the distance as a sandworm begins to move towards you. And when it gets close, you hear the roar as it erupts from the sand nearby. And at that point, you have only seconds to live if you cannot make it to rocky ground. You go into the deep desert when you're harvesting spice. The giant ringmouth sandworms that we've seen in the film will erupt underneath the spice blows and suck harvesters and equipment down into the sand beneath them.
And because it's an open world survival, you'll be collecting resources, building benches, base, weaponry. I love the cool sci-fi tech imagined in the Dune movies, so all that more pumped to see it in the game. Since Funcom did Conan Exiles, they'll have a typical co-op building blueprint system, and I guess you're able to even save your base as a blueprint and then sell that right on a market, open market, so they're going to have a full player-run market. They went on to say there will be a few approaches to combat and a leveling system attached to each of these approaches being melee, range, abilities like Bene Gesserit, and then they included vehicles. Vehicles that were listed were sand bikes and copters. You can group up with friends, complete tasks, journeys, and contracts specifically were mentioned. There was some talk of a PvP area called the Shifting Sands, where a weekly sandstorm will sweep through, change the landscape entirely, which will be exciting for sure. I'm, all in on that. With the sandbox gameplay, even if you don't want to get involved in the PvP or factions, you could assume a role as a crafter, sell goods on that market, or architect, like previously mentioned, sell schematics, sell, blueprints. They were talking about how it's built on the Unreal 5 engine, and, me personally, any Unreal 5 game I've played is incredible. I think it's the best looking games I've played to date. The devs explained how the lighting in Unreal 5 really helps for the immersion. Object and landscape detail has reached a new pinnacle with today's tech as well. So, better looking, better performing. And I guess the betas have been going on already. I didn't realize this, I had signed up a while ago. But you can join, put the website in the description. You can sign up, and then they'll be increasing the number of people in the betas all the way up until launch. It's wishlistable on Steam. Let's go ahead and look at this gameplay trailer before we head out. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with Dune the game and the Dune Awakening Direct episodes to come. Thanks, peace.
Arrakis is a test. Few survive it. Arrakis is a test. Few survive it. But the humans that do await